Welcome to your spiritual liaison 123, where the truth will be told. Get your affirmations and manifestations on through what? Meditation. Love yourself first. Please live your absolute best life and make sure that you get an amazing laugh on every single day. Okay, so Pisces, we're going to get into a yin and yang energy, okay? For those who don't understand what yin and yang is, yin is more of that divine feminine energy, whereas yang is more of the divine masculine energy, okay? So when you think of yang energy, you think of like fast moving cars, trains, things like that. When you think of divine feminine energy, it's more about receiving love, harmony, being in the energy of being receptive, okay? All right, so it's like a slower moving energy, but the divine masculine is like a faster moving energy, the energy of pursuit. So I want to start off with a message. Let me just shuffle the cards. We're going to start off with the divine feminine energy, okay? The frequency of the divine feminine supports our soft and receptive and nurturing side, facilitating our intuition and intrinsic understanding of our connection to the cosmos. So the thing about divine feminine energy is that's about you being receptive to the truth about yourself, your connections in this world, so you can receive what you really want, right? If you're vibrating in the energy of being receptive because you can receive the truth about yourself and you can live in that truth, then it's easier to be in this divine masculine energy and go after what you want, okay? All right, or pursue what you want because you know who you are. I'll use this as an example. It's since June, we're still in June, right? Yeah. June is Pride Month, right? And so so this is about people who are not comfortable in their own skin, okay? And you know, you have these different terms, gay for pay, you know, one minute they're gay, the next minute they're not gay, and they kind of flip-flop depending on who they're around, who they're interacting with, what environment they're in. They're just not real true to themselves all the time, right? So they're going to go pursue things in a unauthentic way because it's like, oh, I'm not gay, and so let me go pursue the opposite sex and let me just use it in a way where I can convince everybody else, right? So they wonder why they keep having problems with that particular in that particular energy, but it's because they're not being true to who they really are, what they feel inside. They'll lie to themselves. They'll lie to other people. And one thing that the scariest thing to do for me, one of the scariest things, is coming in contact with someone who isn't honest with themselves. They're not true to themselves, because that lets me know that they can't be honest with me, right? So this is something that and I just use that as an example, but this could be in anything in life. With divine feminine energy, this is you understanding if you want to be a mom, or if you want to pursue, you want to have a relationship, you want to have a husband, you want to have a particular career, a job or something, right? This is you being honest with yourself about what you need, who you are as a person, and what you need to obtain those goals. So as a divine feminine, if you know you want to, let's say if you say you want a career as, I don't know, planting trees or something like that, right? So you would put yourself, first of all, you would define exactly what you want. And maybe planting trees is therapeutic for you. Maybe it's something that you want to know about the environment. You feel like you live on this planet Earth, and you want to contribute in a very positive way that's not only helping you, but it's also helping other people, right? And if you know about trees can start off as a sapling. It could start off as a seed, you know. It could start a seed in a shell, or something like that, and then the next thing you know, it's growing into a tree. You plant it, you water it, you give it what it needs, and then it grows into a tree, right? And so with that divine feminine energy, you may be like, oh, okay, I want to plant trees. But why do you want to plant trees? That idea came from somewhere. Yes, it started off as just like a little seed, but this is you taking it and actually investing into it. Okay, maybe you're researching, maybe you're volunteering with places who plant trees, you're getting all the information you need, you understand there's actually feminine and masculine trees too. So there are certain things that you're going to understand about that field that you want to be in, and it's something that will speak to your soul. So you know what you want as the divine feminine, so you're receiving all the information you need, you're getting what you need for it, right? Through maybe research or something like that, or the support of, maybe you're joining support groups where they're kind of helping you get that information and showing you how to do it. Then you move into that divine masculine energy of really pursuing it, meaning like you're going out, you're doing all these things, you're maybe even getting to the point where you can teach people. And this could be where you decide you have a very lucrative career. Maybe you're finding a niche somewhere in that journey of you. And I'm using the tree thing as an example. You're finding a niche in this environmental place in your life of planting trees, and maybe you want to start your own business in some way doing that. And this is where that divine masculine energy comes in, because now you're about to go pursue whatever it is that you need to pursue, because the goal, you're trying to reach a goal. So you'll be kind of like going in between yin and yang energy, okay? Receiving, pursuing, okay? And that's why when you hear me say in these readings, we all have masculine and feminine energy in us, that's what I mean. In some point in our life, we're in the point of receiving, and some points in our life, we're pursuing, we're giving, okay? And divine masculine says the frequency of divine masculine supports our active focus and strong side, facilitating our capacity to transform our dreams into form, okay? All right, so let me see. I'm going to pull from this I'm going to pull from the yin and yang deck. Let's see either what you're supposed to be pursuing or what you're supposed to be receiving. Let's kind of see what energy you're in or you could currently be in. I'll start with divine feminine. Spirit, please give me a clear message for my Pisces for the divine feminine, which is yin energy. High vibration, self-worth, healing, unworthiness, expectations, values. So right now, some of you all are totally in your self-worth energy about who you are. You're increasing that, what your self-worth means to you, connecting to the cosmos, being in that energy, tapping into that nurturing side of yourself, being soft and receptive, being intuitive, healing that feelingness of unworthiness. This is you knowing that you deserve something. And being in that divine feminine energy means, being in that yin energy means you're open to receive it. Your expectations of something is understood. Your values are understood. Your self-worth is understood, okay? Let's see. I'm going to pull on that before I pull for the divine masculine. But I also want to get a message from the universe for you. Nope, I'm not supposed to pull that. I'm supposed to pull that last. So let's start with the tarot. So high vibrations. Some of you all, well, you all are supposed to be in that high vibrational energy of divine feminine energy. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, okay? This is you knowing what you deserve in this life, feeling like you are worthy to receive that which you want, and your expectations as you grow, as your self-worth grows, as your value grows, is going to increase, right? All right, so let's see. Two of Wands, making a choice, transitioning with this Six of Swords here, being in that King of Cups energy, the Death card, okay? And I'm going to pull for your message from the universe. Okay. So Pisces, let's talk about this. The yin energy. First card out for you is the Two of Wands here, okay? First house energy, Aries energy, okay? Two paths, a decision, options, planning. Grass is always greener on the other side, okay? Immigration suddenly leaving, deciding to stay or go, waiting, anticipation, relentlessness, detachment, withdrawal, and wanderlust, okay? All right, so there's an area of your life, Pisces, where you're kind of trying to make a choice. Maybe this feels new to you, okay? Maybe this self-worth, living in high vibrational energy, healing that unworthiness, feeling of you don't deserve something, or maybe because, you know, I did this and I didn't know any better, I don't understand, I don't deserve this. No, get out of that self-doubt talk. This is you really being in that first house energy of pursuing what you want, really getting what you want. Know that you're going to attract what you know you deserve, okay? And this is you being able to attract that through being in your feminine energy of softness and receptiveness. This is even allowing yourself to be loved by the cosmos, allowing yourself to be loved by the universe, allowing yourself to be loved by other earthly beings who cross your path in the right way, right? Knowing your self-worth, putting up healthy boundaries where you're not afraid anymore to walk away or leave hard times, people who make things very difficult for you, okay with moving into calmer waters and healing yourself, okay? Progressing, moving on from things, moving forward, things calming down in your life. Maybe something you've just gone through a storm in your life and you're just kind of like, I need to be in this divine feminine energy of yin, of receiving. Maybe you were the one who was always giving your time, giving compliments, giving support, giving resources, whatever it was, okay? But this is you trying to get out of that mind frame of always being in this divine masculine energy, even if you're a woman, of always providing for everyone and being open to seeing your self-worth, of also receiving, having your cups refilled. But this to me seems like it's harder for you to do. It's easier said than done to do this, okay, with this yin and yang kind of bouncing between those energies, because maybe you've gotten used to always fixing others' problems or allowing them to vibrate in bad behavior and not removing yourself from a situation with the Six of Swords into calmer waters until they appreciate you or know how to behave, right? Setting up healthy boundaries. The more you do that, the more you vibrate in high vibration, you're moving into this King of Cups energy, right? This is someone who's trustworthy. You have a wealth of knowledge due to experience, okay? Willing to heal. This is like you moving right into, this is like the angel guiding you into healing energy, into a better, higher vibration, okay? The Six of Swords is Aquarius energy. Maybe you're moving into a calmer environment. You're being around calmer people. This could be your family. This could be in your work life. It could be in a community. Just put yourself where you belong. But this is you moving on with knowledge and moving on with wisdom, moving on with the wisdom to be able to even give good advice, okay? You understand your unconscious motives now, okay? This isn't you lying to yourself about who you are, where you are in life, what you want, how you should receive things. You're no longer talking yourself out of, oh, okay, well, maybe I don't deserve that. No, you're like, if I want this promotion and I've put in the work, I do deserve it, okay? If I want this relationship, I put in the work, I deserve it. If I want this certain kind of lifestyle, I've put in the work, I deserve it. If I want a certain kind of friendship, I've been that friend to someone, I deserve to receive that back. So this is you understanding what you deserve and having high expectations because you're vibrating in high energy, okay? Your values have increased, okay? You're no longer settling for things in life, okay? And then you have this death card here. Death represents change. It represents transformation. It represents something that has to end so something new can replace it. So I really feel like this transformation has a lot to do with the way that you've done things in the past that is changing, Pisces, that hasn't worked for you, okay? In the past, you could have been that type of person again where you just kind of like always vibrated in this divine masculine energy of feeling like you had to protect and help and save people, and being so strong. You're the strong friend, you're the strong family member, you always got to be the strong one. Maybe you're tired of being so damn strong for everybody else, okay? You need people to be strong for you, and that is okay. That's totally divine feminine energy saying, you know what, I'm tired of being a strong one for everyone. I'm so strong for everybody else that when I need a shoulder to lean on, they're not there. They're constantly in chaos, problems, needing attention, needing an ear, somebody to talk to. But if I need someone to solve my problems or to vent to, I don't have that, because I'm the person that people come to. You could have been vibrating in that divine masculine energy way too much, and it devalued you. Your expectations had even become very low of what you should receive. Without you, I feel like this was subconsciously, you didn't even realize how much you were lowering your expectations of yourself, and people got so used to depending on you that they didn't even see your worth anymore. They didn't understand, okay, well, you can't be there for me, but let me go to somebody else because you're not a real friend. You're not a real this, you're not a real that. After you've been there 13, 14, 17, 20, 80, 90 times, okay? Knowing that you can never go to them for that, and when you're in a crisis, okay? So this is you putting an ending to that mind frame. This is you kind of vibrating more in this divine feminine energy, getting out of this divine masculine energy. And this is what you do when you're truly healed. You're okay with being loved without feeling guilty. You become okay with being supported without feeling guilty. And you don't allow people to make you feel guilty like you don't deserve that, okay? All right, so let me see what your message from the universe says. Release old doubts and fears. You're currently undergoing changes that are necessary for your highest good. They are changes that have been long awaited. Leave the past where it belongs, in the past. Trust that everything will fall into place for you in divine timing. Absolutely. Again, you're making some sort of significant change to your life. Now, let's see what this divine message. So for those who are not in this energy of divine feminine, this is what Spirit wants you to do. You need to tap more into your divine feminine energy of actually receiving and being okay with receiving. Letting people know you can't always be there for them. You can't clean up after your adult kids. You cannot go out here and always be the person. Just say if you have kids at school and there's you have a parent group or something, you're always the one who's in charge of having to purchase certain things, okay? Like, it's okay to delegate duties. It's okay to be that person where you can kind of sit back sometimes and let people be the host of the party, and you be the person who show up, and you get you a plate and sit back and just relax with everybody else, instead of you having to be the one all over the place making sure everything is okay, everybody's okay. Let people run around for you sometimes in this life and make sure you're okay, and be okay with that. That's you refilling your cup. And surround yourself with people who are okay with doing that. If they're always making you feel guilty about receiving, put a depth to it. Move on from it. Because it should not be a tit for tat thing, but it should be a thing where there's even balance in your connections. You shouldn't always have to be the giver. You shouldn't always be the receiver. There's an even balance with that yin and yang energy in life. So let's see what this masculine divine energy is about. This could be an energy you're constantly in, or an energy that you need to be in. Some of you all have been in divine energy so much that all you do is receive. You haven't shown up for your friends the way you're supposed to. If they need someone to talk to, you don't have a listening ear for them. Okay? Their birthday come around, you make their birthday about you. Okay, you wondering what you can give for their birthday instead of asking them what they want. You don't give them no card, no nothing. You never ask them if they would like a home cooked meal or just call to check on them. You have to ask yourself, have you been in the energy of constantly receiving where you have not pursued people, or have you been too passive when promotions come up? You're like, oh, well, well, maybe Amy, she deserves it more than me because she has small kids to take care of. Or John over there, he comes in late every day and he doesn't really do the job, but he's been here the longest. It's like you need to stop convincing yourself that everybody else deserves more than you, because being in that divine feminine energy too much is being like too passive. It's like not pursuing what you want, what you deserve in this life, not even knowing that you actually deserve to have good things being given to you. Okay? All right. So let me see. Divine masculine, closed off, guarded, resistance, pride, defensive, wounded, warrior. Look at how these cards look at how the cards, divine feminine. Isn't this a feminine picture? Very delicate, very, like soft, vulnerable type picture, right? Divine masculine. Looks like someone that's in a warrior, someone who's about to go into combat, or this look like somebody who's possibly military, or someone who is maybe they're some sort of guard or something. But this is someone who's very closed off. They have like that outer shell. You can't even see their face, okay? There's resistance. There's a lot of pushback, okay? There's pride in what they do, but also too much pride can cause them to fall, okay? Very defensive, on defense all the time. And so that can be a good or bad thing depending on the environment that you're in, okay? Wounded, sometimes you're fighting so much to pursue something that you make mistakes and you become emotionally wounded because you've pushed so many people away. Warrior, you're willing, divine masculine, willing to pursue and go after what you want, protection. But this is also, some of you all have been closed off, okay? And even closed off from being in divine feminine energy of your self-worth, okay? Maybe you feel like I said, always having to be the strong one, the protector, the one who's facilitating things, instead of letting somebody else say, okay, well, somebody call you up, oh, well, Pisces, every year, are you throwing this year? Are you throwing that year? And nobody has asked you, can you even afford it this year? No one has asked you, do you have the energy to do it this year? No one has even volunteered their service to say, oh, well, if you do throw it, I can be the person that run around and go pick this up and do that. This is like you saying, okay, every year I throw this event at my house and I have to do everything. All people got to do is show up. That's it. But it has almost turned into, it started out as something very fun, but then it turned into something where you sort of feel guarded and closed off and maybe even resentful, because now people expect for you to do it. And no one has asked you, do you need any help with it? And it has become more of a burden than a blessing to others, okay? So there could be something where you're even sort of not enjoying something that you used to do anymore, okay? Because you just feel like it's just take, and you're not getting much in return, but you have to be strong for everybody else because everybody's telling you how much they love it, and they can't wait to show up, and it's going to be so nice, and you do such a good job, and the whole time maybe financially you can't afford it, or energetically you're just tired or something like that, or you want somebody to possibly do it this year where you can go and show up and again get your plate and sit down and eat and relax. Okay, all right, so those are just examples, but whatever it is in your life, Pisces, there's something where you need to be okay with not being the strong one all the time, because it's causing you to be closed off and really be sort of resentful and guarded. Maybe you're resisting change to vibrate in this feminine energy, especially if you're a male, especially if you're a man, and some women now have vibrated in masculine energy, not because they wanted to, but because they had to. The men, either in their family or their husband or something like that, didn't show up and vibrate in his masculine energy, so they feel like they constantly have to do it. Let's see, the Emperor, masculine energy. Some of you all, Aries, some of you all have significant Aries placement within your natal chart. The Empress, at the bottom of the deck, the Moon. I didn't want to turn it over yet because I wanted to get to the end, and then let me see a message from the universe. Yes, some of you all have been in this Emperor energy where you've just been like, people really do depend on you more than you know. People really depend on you more than you know, Pisces, because they feel like you're the person, you're going to get the job done. You create a level, you create stability and structure. They feel protected by you. Maybe you're sort of assertive, so they see you in sort of like an authoritative way. You're ambitious, but maybe you're even controlling to a certain point. You're practical. You can even come off as fearless, very focused and disciplined, logical. But this is you, even if you're not a man, some of you are maybe older in age or something like that, but you come off in masculine energy because people feel like they can really depend on you. Okay, you're going to take care of them. You're going to take care of the situation. You're going to get the job done or something like that. Let me see. This says the Five of Cups. This is Scorpio energy, but there's something that you have to walk away from. Like with this, the Six of Swords is crowning this Five of Cups. It's like you're having to walk away from all of these problems, Pisces. Okay, what you focused on in the past, what really hasn't worked for you. It's like you have opportunities waiting here. And the opportunities are meant for you to really be in this energy of moving into a softer life, using your intuition. High Priestess, total, both Pisces energies here. You see how this is playing out? Both Pisces energies here. King of Cups is crowning the High Priestess. Not only are you trusting yourself more after moving from a hard time and really leaving it behind, and being in that masculine energy for far too long, but making the conscious choice to do that though, right? Because you know that you need to heal and you need to vibrate more in that high energy of self-worth, healing that feeling of unworthiness and really tapping into your intuition, okay, more. Loving that wisdom that you have, and discovering the truth about yourself and what you really want to need in this life, what you really want to pursue. So it's like you're putting a death to feeling unworthy. You're making a change in your life of constantly vibrating in this masculine energy. and you're moving more into the receptive energy of the Empress, okay? To find out the rest of this reading, to find out the results from this, make sure that you go to the short. You check out the short, okay? All right, so I'm going to read this card on the short, and I'm going to turn these cards over. Enjoy the rest of your beautiful day, and I will talk with you amazing Pisces cross watchers, cuspers, viewers, subscribers, members another time.